Good morning, students. Today we will have to discuss a new part of this particular section, that is called fungi. Previously we have discussed that the Monera, the prokaryotic unicellular, Protista, the eukaryotic unicellular, and both are unicellular, and after that we will have to discuss the multicellular. And in multicellular we will discuss three different groups. One is the fungi, another is the plantae, and third one is the animalia. Among these three, only plantae is the producer, and they are responsible to prepare their own food. And both this fungi and the animalia are consumer level. But in case of fungi, it has been seen that the most of the fungi are saprophytic or saprobic, but few are parasitic and a few are symbiotic also. But due to lack of the chloroplast, they are not producer. They are always. But it has been observed that a few fungi is also unicellular. A few. Because their shape and others are similar to that of the fungal hyphae, so we can consider that is a unicellular fungi. Unicellular. But most of the fungi is multicellular. Now firstly, we will discuss that the fungi normally form from the spore. Whenever a spore gets a suitable condition, it germinates. It germinates like this. And the apical growth is very much common, and this germinated thread-like structure is called hypha. Germinated thread-like structure is called hypha. Now, in this hypha, it has been observed that there is a thick wall is also present, and that thick wall is called cell wall. But of course it is also made up of the carbohydrate, homopolysaccharides, but it is mainly made up of the N-acetyl glycosamine, N-acetyl glycosamine or N-acetyl glucosamine. It is called chitin, CHIT, chitin, but it is very much soft. You know that the certain outer covering of the arthropoda is also made up of the chitin, but due to addition of the calcium or calcium salt, they are very much hard. Of course, their chemical nature is also like that, but due to the presence of the chemical, it is very much hard. It has been observed that hypha may be like this, or hypha like this, or hypha is like this. Like this. All are hypha. It has scattered nucleus it has one nucleus in each, and it has also one nucleus in each. This type of hypha is called cenocytic hypha. Cenocytic hypha or aseptate hypha. Cenocytic hypha, aseptate hypha, it means it is multinucleated hypha, and we can see that when unicellular is converted into multicellular by the fusion of the unicellular, when the septation is not takes place, it assumed that when this fungi is just in process, it is called primitive fungi. It is called primitive fungi. It means it is not well developed fungi. It is primitive fungi, or it is called lower fungi. It is also called lower fungi. Lower fungi. In case of this two, this is called septate hyphae. It is called septate hypha. And this is called simple septation. And it is called doliopolar septation. Doliopolar septation. Septate and septate can be divided into two parts, that is called simple septation and doliopolar septation. But both are not complete septa. Both have interconnections. Of course, they will not allow the nucleus to go out and come in, but they are interconnected to each other. It has no any chloroplast, but mitochondria, Golgi body, others are present inside it. Now we can classify this fungi on the basis of this particular septation. Firstly, we can classify classification of fungi. Number one, aseptate fungi, and number two, septate fungi. Aseptate fungi and septate fungi. Now here we will have to discuss about the classification of the fungi. That classification, the fungi, firstly divided into two parts, that is aseptate and septate, on the basis of the presence and absence of the septa in the hypha. Because you know that if hypha is here, then it has an apical growth and a bunch of hypha, that is for mycelium. And this particular hypha is generally present inside the food particles. That may be rotten log or the decaying leaves or the fruit particle like breads and others. But hypha is generally present inside it. If hypha is horizontal, that is called stolon hypha. It has been observed that the hypha may be like this. It is called rhizodal hypha. And if there is an aerial part in hypha, it is called sporangium. Sporangium. So it is called sporangiophore or aerial hypha. This is it may be septate or aseptate. But if the hypha, the location of the hypha is like that, then you can say that the horizontal hypha inside the food is called stolon hypha. Then if the hypha is towards the ground, that is called rhizodal hypha, and if the hyphal part will come in the air, that is called aerial hypha, or if the sporangium is formed on that particular area, then it is called sporangiophore. Okay. Now, on the basis of the certain special feature, a septate that is called phycomycetes is also divided into two parts, that zygomycetes and masticomycetes. Here, for the sake of learning, we can say that zygo here indicate that there is certain non-motile part. In any of the stages, there is no any motile. Motile, I mean to say that the motile gamete or the motile things are present inside it. Then it is called, that is called zygomycetes. And if any motile substance, motile gametes or other the flagellated gametes are present, that is called masticomycetes. So we can divide on the basis of presence and absence of the motile gametes, we can divide phycomycetes into zygomycetes and masticomycetes. Now, this is the septate, or just we have told that it is the lower fungi, it will considered as the higher fungi. And we know that whenever you move from the lower to higher, the reproduction will be sexual towards the higher one. If you move lower like amoeba, the sexual reproduction is not there. But if you go into the other developed individual, the sexual reproduction will be there. Here, the sexual reproduction is also been observed. Here also, sexual reproduction is observed. But it can be divided into two parts because their reproductive parts is ascus. And their reproductive part is the basidium. So it is considered as the basidiomycete and it is considered as the ascomycete. Ascus, ascomycetes, basidium, basidiomycetes. And one of the common example of the basidiomycetes, I am giving you the rhizopus and mushroom. Because both are very much common. So just I am giving you two examples. It is called bread mold. It is easily visible if the bread will kept inside for the few times in the moist, warm place. Then you will see that there is a layer, whitish or the blackish layer will be there. And that layer is due to the rhizopus. And mushroom is very much common. It is a double part. So we have discussed. Now this Deuteromycetes is called fungi imperfecti. Why it is called fungi imperfecti? Because just I have told you that when you move from the simple to complex, then the sexual reproduction is very much essential in that particular. It has been observed the hypha of the Deuteromycetes is septate. It means they are developed then aseptate, but sexual reproduction is still not being observed. Because of that, this part of the fungi is called Deuteromycetes or the fungi imperfect. Now, with the help of the figure, we will have to discuss. Just I am going to discuss the how rhizopus reproduce. What is the process of reproduction? But before that, we will have to give a simple idea that whenever, suppose this is the hypha and this one is also the hypha. Suppose this one is the positive hypha, this one is the negative hypha. And there is a fusion of this particular two. In general, what happens whenever the male part or the female part or female part or the male part come in contact with that, if it is N condition, if it is N condition, then the 2N is formed. But only in the fungi, the many more times it will be retained like that. It is called dikaryotic condition. Dikaryotic condition. If the hypha is formed in this particular, so that is called dikaryotic hypha. And after that, whenever this 2N is converted, then now it is called zygote. And that will convert into, again that will convert into so many spores and others. And the spore, if formed by this particular process, is called that is called meiospore, because the meiosis will be takes place for the formation of the spores. We will discuss in the life cycle of the rhizopus that how this meiospore is formed and how the mitospore is formed. Just wait. Now we will have to discuss the life cycle of the rhizopus. It is one of the example of the zygomycetes. It means this one is the aseptate fungi, and there is no any locomotory gametes or others are present inside it, so it is called zygomycetes. It is kept under the zygomycetes. And it is also called conjugation fungi, because the conjugation, the sexual reproduction takes place by the conjugation, so it is also called conjugation fungi. Just we have discussed that how this particular rhizopus reproduce. You will see here it is a spore of the rhizopus. This rhizopus, after getting a suitable condition, it will convert into this hypha. This is called rhizoidal hypha, that is called stolon hypha. This one is the stolon hypha. This is the rhizoidal hypha, and this is the aerial hypha. Now what happens whenever it matured during asexual reproduction? It is haploid in nature. When it will be matured, then what happens? All the nucleuses pass through this particular sporangiophore or the aerial hypha to this particular sporangium. Now this sporangium has two parts. One that is called columnar part. This one is a columnar part, and this one is called nuclear part. What happens whenever the nucleus are restricted in this particular sporangium? The columella is formed and it make a pressure upon this one. During this particular processes, what happens? This nucleuses have a small cytoplasmic contents and it will convert into a spore, and whenever this sporangium bursts, it will release this spore is scattered and just waiting for the suitable conditions. Here we will see that the nature of this particular spore and nature of this particular is haploid. So there is no any meiosis or meiosis will take place. So this particular fungi, this particular hypha is called mitospore. This particular spore is called mitospore. But in the same condition, you will see here that there are two types of the hypha. One is called positive hypha, another is called negative hypha. Due to certain conditions, there is a elevation formed, and this elevation ultimately fused. Here N plus N condition is being observed. After some times it has been observed that N plus N condition is converted into 2N condition, and in this particular 2N condition, that is in this parts, sporangium is also being formed, but the nucleus or the cell will move inside it is the meiotic product. So the spore is, here you will see that the N plus N condition, here you will see that the 2N conditions, and this is the N condition. So it is very much essential that the spore should be N condition. So it is the product of that is the meiospore. So it is a this spore is product of the meiosis, so it is called meiospore. And again, after getting the suitable condition, the similar type of the hypha which is from the mitospore and which is meiospore will be formed. And this way they are continuing their life cycle. This is all about the life cycle of the Rhizopus. We will discuss the life cycle of the Agaricus or the mushroom in next class.